Have you ever felt that sudden, cold, suffocating knot in your stomach when you hear your phone buzz with a banking alert? Or maybe you have found yourself staring at a grocery receipt, feeling a wave of panic even though you know you have enough to cover it. This is not just a bad mood. It is a paralyzing cycle called financial anxiety. It is the invisible chain that keeps you awake at midnight, recalculating numbers in your head until they stop making sense. Most people will tell you to just work harder or make more money, but that is a lie. You cannot out-earn a mindset of fear. Today, we are going to break that chain together. We are walking through a powerful breakthrough strategy to quiet the noise and reclaim your peace of mind. If you stay with me until the very end, you will have a complete psychological blueprint to turn your financial dread into a fortress of calm. To fix the problem, we have to understand why it exists. Financial anxiety is a silent thief that steals your focus and your future. We live in a world that is constantly screaming at us to spend, to upgrade, and to compare our lives to the perfect images we see on a screen. When we feel like we are falling behind, our brain triggers an ancient survival response. In the past, this response was reserved for physical predators like lions or tigers. Today, your brain treats a low bank balance or an unpaid bill the same way it would treat a predator in the wild. Your heart races, your breath gets shallow, and your ability to think logically completely disappears. This is why financial stress feels so heavy. It is not just about the dollars. It is about your deep sense of safety in the world. When you do not feel financially secure, your nervous system stays in a state of high alert. You are literally living in survival mode every single day. Over time, this wears down your body and your mind. You become reactive instead of proactive. You make choices based on fear instead of choice. Understanding that this is a biological reaction is the first step to taking your power back. You are not weak for feeling this way. You are simply human. The biggest mistake most people make is falling into the avoidance trap. When money gets tight, it is tempting to stop looking at the numbers. You stop checking the apps. You let the mail pile up on the counter. You hope that if you ignore the problem, it will simply go away. This is often called the ostrich effect. We put our heads in the sand because the truth feels too painful to face. But avoidance is like pouring gasoline on a fire. It turns a manageable situation into a terrifying monster in the dark. The longer you wait to look, the bigger that monster grows in your imagination. The reality is usually much less scary than the nightmare you have created in your head. The moment you decide to turn on the lights and actually look at the facts, the monster begins to shrink. Clarity is the ultimate antidote to panic. By naming your debts and seeing your balances, you move from a place of mystery to a place of management. You can fix what you can see. You cannot fix a shadow. You might have spent hours searching for how to stop worrying about money only to find boring spreadsheets and complicated investment advice. But the truth is much simpler than that. Real peace comes when you stop letting money define your worth as a person. We have been conditioned to believe that a bigger number in the bank means a better human being. This is a false narrative that keeps us in a state of constant anxiety. You are not your debt. You are not your credit score. You are a resilient human being who has survived every single bad day so far. Money is a tool, not a judge. When you shift your perspective from being a victim of your finances to being the architect of your future, everything changes. To stop the worry, you have to define what enough looks like for you. If you do not have a definition of enough, you will always be chasing a ghost. Peace starts when you decide that your happiness is no longer for sale to the highest bidder of lifestyle inflation. To regain your power, you need a quick win. Anxiety loves a big, overwhelming mess. It thrives when things feel out of reach. To beat it, you have to shrink the battlefield. Pick one tiny, microscopic action you can take right now. It could be as simple as unsubscribing from one marketing email that tempts you to spend money you do not have. Or maybe it is moving just $5 into a separate account. These small wins act like a reset button for your nervous system. They prove to your brain that you are still in the driver's seat. Control is the best medicine for a racing heart. As you stack these tiny victories, your confidence grows. You start to realize that you are capable of making change. This is how you build momentum. You do not need a massive windfall to feel better. You just need to know that you are moving in the right direction. Small steps taken consistently will lead you out of the darkest woods. A huge part of overcoming this fear is building what I call a psychological safety net. Most people call this an emergency fund, but its real purpose is to provide mental quiet. Having a small stash of cash that is strictly for emergencies changes the way you view every challenge. Instead of seeing a car repair as a life-ruining event, you see it as a minor inconvenience. You are not just saving money. You are buying the ability to breathe. You do not need thousands of dollars to start this process. Start with whatever you can, even if it feels small. The habit of saving is actually more important than the amount. This fund acts as a buffer between you and the chaos of the world. It allows your brain to stay in a state of logic instead of falling into a state of panic. It is the foundation of your new financial peace. Along with this, practice mindful spending. Before you buy something, wait 24 hours. Often, the urge to spend is actually a hidden cry for rest or connection. When you recognize the emotion behind the purchase, you stop the leak in your wallet and your peace of mind. We also have to address the toxic habit of comparison. We are the first generation in history that carries a billboard of everyone else's highlight reel in our pockets. We see the luxury cars and the expensive dinners, and we feel a deep sense of lack. But remember that you are comparing your behind-the-scenes footage to their edited trailers. This comparison trap creates an artificial sense of emergency that drives us to spend money we do not have. One of the most beautiful ways to find peace is to define your own version of enough. When you know what matters to you, the noise of the world becomes much quieter. Financial anxiety thrives in the dark. It grows when we feel we have to hide our struggles because of shame. When you talk to a friend, a partner, or a mentor about your money fears, you realize that almost everyone is feeling the same thing. Just stating the problem out loud can take away half of its power over you. You are not alone in this, and there is no shame in being in a building phase of your life. Shame is a weight that prevents you from moving forward. Dropping that weight is the fastest way to accelerate your progress. Focusing on your progress rather than your perfection will help you stay the course. Celebrate the fact that you are even thinking about these things. That is a sign of growth. You are choosing to take care of your future self, and that is one of the most loving things you can do. Every conscious decision you make today is a brick in the foundation of a more peaceful tomorrow. You are moving toward a place where money is no longer a source of terror, but a source of support for the life you want to live. As we reach the end of our journey today, I want you to take a deep breath. You are doing much better than you think you are. The fact that you are even looking for ways to improve shows that you have the heart of a survivor. Overcoming financial anxiety is not about reaching a perfect destination where you never worry again. It is about making better choices one day at a time and having the tools to handle the stress when it arises. Every time you choose awareness over avoidance, you are winning. You are building a life of clarity, purpose, and profound peace. Remember that you are the captain of your ship, even if the sea is currently a bit rough. You have the power to steer toward calmer waters. I truly hope these insights have helped you feel a little lighter and a lot more capable. If you felt a spark of hope or found a tool that works for you, it would mean the world to me if you could like this video and subscribe to our community. Your support helps us keep creating content that empowers and inspires others to thrive. If you have a small win to share or a question on your mind, please leave a comment below because we learn best when we grow together. This has been Mindful Thrive Ledger, and I am so grateful to be part of your journey toward a life of mastery and calm.